and I am celebrating a very special day today. Today is my 1 year working with Peace Corps Armenia specifically, and it's been a great year. So I'm going to share my year with you guys, but first I want to say that I'm living my dream and I'm very thankful every single day. And I'm sure if you know me, you've known that I've wanted to do Peace Corps since I was in high school, then throughout college, and then after college and years after. And so here I am. I feel very, 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 very fortunate to be living my dream, as I mentioned. And so yeah, I'm going to take you through my year. I've had lots of great adventures, as I'm sure you can imagine, and I can't put all of that into a quick little video. So instead, I've been keeping a scrapbook, so I'll just take you through my scrapbook with me, and I hope that you enjoy it, and hopefully you get some guidance if you're coming here as a Peace Corps volunteer, and then if not, if you're just watching to watch, and if you have any questions, please let me know. But here we go. We're going to go ahead and start. And so right here is A26. I'm part of the 26th group of Peace Corps Peace Corps that's been here in Armenia. So we call it A26, Armenia's 26th group of Peace Corps volunteers who've been here. And so this here is it's my name in Armenian, which is really quite adorable, Mani. And, yeah, it's just some other stuff from, staging and things, and then this is some ticket stubs and stuff like that, and then this here is just some of the things I grabbed when I first arrived to Armenia, and one of the things is a cute little thing from my first chocolate bar here, and I am lactose intolerant and did not realize that the dairy here is much more, I don't know, I guess maybe healthy or pure or whatever. And so if you are lactose intolerant, please be careful of taking in lactose here, because it is serious business. But nevertheless, ice cream here in the summer is super cheap and delicious. Next we have our, my first birthday party to celebrate in Armenia was 5-year-old Eric's in I think April, and so it was like very soon after I arrived, and I did not know how they celebrated birthdays here, but it's huge. We had Mickey Mouse come, we stayed up till midnight, we had like fireworks on the cake. I mean, it was some serious business, so it was really cool to experience. And then here's some other notes. Thank you for your infinite support, positive energy, and smile you brought to the group. And that was from one of our Peace Corps trainees in our language class. So that was it's just very nice to keep these types of things and remind myself that there are people here who support what we're doing. And then next we have just some photos with hanging out with some of the A26s and Mossies in the village. And, that's definitely some part of your experience is going to be other Peace Corps volunteers and the experiences that you have together. And we had a lot of fun times. So, yay! The events that occurred whenever we were here was a change of government, and so we had like a president who changed himself to prime minister so he can stay around, and then people were like, no, that's not so cool, guy, and then he stepped down, and then we had a new guy try and step in, and he wasn't approved at first, and then later he was approved. And so through that process there were a lot of changes, as you can imagine, and a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions and a lot of excitement. And so now currently this guy, his name is Nikol Pashinyan, is the prime minister of Armenia, and this hat here is like what he stands for. What he says he stands for is stands for courage, by courage, with courage. And so it's really important, I guess, to remember that as you're going through. And anyway, that's the fun parts of a live video. All sorts of things can happen. That's my duck alarm. So I gotta get ready for the gym. So let me try and go through this as quickly as I can. So yeah, you'll see here, this is from May 2nd. It's one of the protests that occurred, and this here is some language that we learned in our language class about, protests and things like that. It was such an interesting time to be here in Armenia, that's for sure. And yeah, they closed the roads with cars. We weren't able to go to school. We had to delay our practicum, and so yeah, it was definitely a sight to see and something to remember for a lifetime. And hopefully the political situation in Armenia continues to improve. This here is an outline of my practicum. I had a partner, his name was Michael, that we worked together to do our practicum for the 5th grade school, or 5th graders in a school in Mossis. Here's another one of our outlines, and this here I kept because it's one of our students' name tags. We had all of our students make name tags. This is one. His name was Alex, and we said, hey guys, you can keep your name tags. And one of the students said, Marie, I don't want to keep my name tag. I want you to have it so you'll always remember me. me, and that was such a precious little experience to have. And now I have it here to always be reminded that there are students here that will remember us. So it's very important for us to be serious about remembering who they are, and learn more about them and their lives here. And I do plan to remember Mr. Alex forever and ever. And it was a great little way to introduce us to the classroom, and it was a very cool experience to say, okay, there's a precious little student like this, and now I work with tons of little precious students. So that's key in your experience, definitely, if you're coming to be here as a Peace Corps volunteer, is the students really can make your day very, very, very great. Next, we have a picture here. Whoa! Live videos of sunshine, because our topic for the week for our practicum was weather, and so it was really, really a great topic to choose. Next, I have my feedback here and my scoring for practicum to remind myself, how. And I was very fortunate and lucky to get developing, and so that was a level up from a traditional starter, and so that made me feel very confident and excited for my future with teaching, and I love it so far. And the next, we have just some stuff from our training in our language. And so one person said, "You're very happy and very good. You are always happy." Some other words that people described was positive, smiley, adventurous, sunny, energetic, sunshine, and I definitely associate myself with those words as well. And so if you are looking for some sunshine in your life, you can call me up, always, of course. Next, we have our site announcement. When I came to Armenia, I didn't know much about Armenia, and then once I lived in Armenia through training, I knew I didn't want to learn so much about the country at that moment, because I didn't want to know about a specific area and really want to go there. And so I held my learning until after I got placed. And so I got placed in Kapan, and it's in the south, and it's really a beautiful place. I love it very much. I can't imagine my experience anywhere else. And when I told the trainers, they were like, "Okay, where do you want to go?" I was like, "It doesn't matter to me. Just send me somewhere that's warm." And I think they took that into consideration, because Kapan is one of the warmer places here in Armenia. So I'm very fortunate to be serving here. Next, I have a few places that I visited. One with my host family was Corvira, and the second was Noravank, and that was with the A26 groups. And we also went to Irony Winery, which was a really fun experience. So these are some must-go places if you're in Arat, Mars. And next, we have the day I became a Peace Corps volunteer, which was May 31st. Yay! Today's my 1 year of going through staging. I arrived on March 19th last year, and so there's definitely some 1 year marks that are going to be coming up. My 1 year living in country is happening in a few days. My 1 year being an official Peace Corps volunteer will happen on May 31st, and then so on. My 1 year, from school, March or September 1st, things like that. We got some exciting milestones coming up. And next, we have just my experience in Kapan. Whenever I first came here to Kapan, a part of my integration was I started a Facebook group called People Being People, and I would interview them in my limited Armenian that I knew, and I would just talk to them and get to know them, and it's been such a fun adventure, and I'm so glad I started that. One of the first people that I met, her name was Ruzan, and she told me that she's a Leo, and she then started to sing a Russian song to me, and I had to say, "Hey, I don't understand Russian, but I think that your song is very beautiful." And many people think I'm Russian, but I, continue to say I only know Armenian and English. And then we had a color fest in Kapan. I went to the theater a couple of times in Kapan. This is a picture of my first apartment, and so that's where I'm at right now, and I really like it. And next, we have a couple really fun things I did this summer as well. I went beekeeping. Oh my gosh, amazing. And then I went and hiked Khostup, which is one of the largest mountains in Sunik Mars. This is the gym I go to. I'm actually about to go there in a few minutes. And then this is a picture of me and two people that work at Zonguzi TV here in Kapan. And they interviewed me to talk about the importance of English. Next we have Border to Border. I walked one day with Border to Border last year when they came through Capon, and this year I'm very fortunate enough to where in June I get to walk for 3 weeks with them. And so their mission is exciting. We get to teach students, we get to talk about the environment, we get to see more of the beautiful countries of Armenia. And yeah, it was a great experience last year just for the day, and so I'm excited to extend that into 3 weeks this year. And so next we have before I came to Armenia, I had a tutor online. We just Skyped each other, and she was teaching me Armenian. Her name was Lucy Nay. And when I came here, I was so excited to have a person that I knew that wasn't Peace Corps, and it was her. And so I was very fortunate to be able to meet her and her daughter, and talk in Armenian, talk in English, and about my transition here because she knew me as I was there. And so yeah, another milestone, another first interaction that I got to have via video chat was my friend Elizabeth. She had a little girl named Hayes, and she has Marie's biggest fan little onesie on. So that was a great experience. And then there was High Fest. This is one of my LCF's language teachers, who's now works with the ministry or whatever, political stuff. And she was in charge of, cultural things, and like I said, she worked with High Fest, and one of the shows that I saw in High Fest in Yerevan was a comedy called Horse People. It was super, super weird, truly one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my entire life, but I'm glad that I saw it. And then we have a festival called Sunchild Fest. It focuses on the environment, and it's like a movie festival too, where they show environmental movies, they showed Planet Earth, and they showed some local stuff too in Armenian. But other than that, we also did some environmental things. I went hiking, I rode a horse, we did some traditional Armenian dances. We celebrated a traditional version of Vartevar, which is a really cool holiday that they have. And yeah, it was a really great experience. Truly one of my favorite experiences in my life, as well as my favorite experience in Armenia. And so I look forward to doing that again this year. And right after that, we went to Spitak camp and summer camp, and I went there to do a diversity lecture, and it turned into they asked me to do a second lecture on fashion. So I got to do 2 different ones and meet the students there, which were great and very smart. And yeah, they said some really sweet things, and I was very, very honored to be able to speak at their camp last year. And so yeah, next we have I spoke at another So yeah, I did another summer camp, and I spoke to them in Verin Kotanan, and then I went to a raspberry festival in Sisian, which was really cool. And then next we have my English USA lecture team, which was, I'm so excited and honored to be a part of that, because each week I got to give a lecture with my that counterpart, Taguhi, about the education system in the United States, which you guys know I've been educated on and then worked in the higher education system when I was in the United States. And so I really love being a part of that. And then I had my birthday. My first birthday here in Armenia was really great. It was filled with a lot of love. We went to brunch, we went and had some burgers, and we went into the pool. And yeah, I had a lot of people write me sweet notes, and so it's just very, very, very great way to spend my first birthday in another country. And then next we have, I'm a secondary warden, and so I put this in here because I wanted to remind myself that not every aspect of service is just going to be fun and lollygagging and just all sorts of stuff. And so there are serious parts of service. Being safe and being responsible is key. And I'm very honored to be able to help other people make sure that they're safe as well. And so it's such a great thing to be able to speak about after service as well, to say, I had a lot of great fun experiences, and then I also had some serious work that I did as well. And then next, speaking of serious work, we also had project design management, like a training. And we had a lot of, learned how to do all sorts of project planning, things like that, which is very, very, very important in your Peace Corps service. And we also went bowling and hiking. So yes, we had some training, but of course we brought some fun in there, as that's what Peace Corps volunteers always like to do. And so then I had my first bell. Here's some students, here's some of the teachers, here's my counterpart, Miss Nare, here's me with Armenia and more students. I love my school. School number 1 is one of the best schools in Armenia, has to be. Next, I started a baseball team. Super cool, super fun. Some of their first experiences with baseball at all, and I'm very, very honored to be one to bring that information to them. Next, I started a student government association, and we, as most student government associations do, we plan events for the school. And so we planned a comedy night. We had 61 students come, and I said a joke in Armenian. And by joke, I mean like a little routine, like from 5 to 10 minutes. I said a joke in Armenian, and I got some laughs, so it was really great. Hopefully I can find it and I can post it on the page. And then we did a free hug day. They actually did it as I was in America. And so next, speaking of America, in July, I got the phone call that my stepfather was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and then in October, we got the call that he passed away, unfortunately and unexpectedly. And so I had to go home, but I have here just some really sweet notes from a lot of my friends and family, some here and some at home, and a picture of us here at my master's graduation. And then, you know, as visiting home for such a difficult time is very, very tough. I tried to figure out a way to make my time in the United States as as valuable as I could. And so the second week that I was there, I visited Brandon High School and Pearl High School, and I was very honored to be able to speak about Armenia, speak about living abroad, and speak about Peace Corps. And so hopefully I was able to educate students and bridge that gap between Mississippi and Armenia, and it was a really lovely experience. And so I was glad I was able to do that in such a difficult time. Next, we have holidays. I was here, you know, obviously for all the holidays that, you know, I've been here for a year. So I've been here literally for like every holiday. And so, you know, it's really, you know, it can be very difficult for people to be home, be away from home for, you know, like Christmas and New Year's. But for me, I felt very, very comforted. We had a lot of stuff going on. I didn't really feel like I missed home so much, because we were just so busy. We were going to different parties, different dinners, different things like that, lots of celebrations, and Armenians love to celebrate. There's fireworks everywhere, and so you can definitely look forward to being very busy and doing lots of fun things during the holiday seasons. They also celebrated Mardi Gras and Valentine's Day, and definitely a couple different unique holidays that just Armenia has, and so I've been very thankful to do that. Next, we have some other events that I've done with the SGA organization that I mentioned is Valentine's Day. So it was a Valentine's Day for girls. And then we did St. Patrick's Day just last Sunday. And so we did a lot of fun games dealing with, you know, leprechauns and fairies and coins. And then I attended the National Poetry Contest with my counterpart as well as some of our students, and one of our students got first place, but it had nothing to do with me. It's just because she's amazing. And then I did a lecture at the medical college, not about medical stuff, but just about living in Armenia as an American. And then I was asked to do a lecture and did a lecture at Brainy in Yerevan. And the organizers of Brainy are just incredible. They're super sweet and amazing. So I definitely recommend, if you're looking for a place that does English lessons, that's a great place to go. This page is literally just dedicated to cows. People are like, dude, you're from Mississippi. Why do you like cows so much? Like, didn't you like see cows as you were going to school every day in Mississippi? I was like, y'all, I'm from the city. Like, I'm a city slicker. So I'm actually still in Armenia, living in Kapan, which is a city. And so I really don't even see them that much, but when I do see them, I'm super excited. And so, yeah, I love cows. Like, didn't know that I did, but I do. I love orangutans and jellyfish. They're my top 2 faves. And cows have just become 3rd place, and they're just really precious and adorable. And anyway, and then next up, we have just some of the places that I've been. So I mentioned a few already, but I saw the Shaki Waterfall. I've been to Dilijan. I've been to Gyumri. Armenia has a lot of really cool places to go, and hopefully, if you're coming here, you get a chance to see them all, especially as a volunteer. You'll be here for 2 years, so you will have the opportunity to travel, hopefully. But yeah, so I've done a lot of really cool stuff, seen a lot of really cool things. And then next up, we have the food here. Oh my gosh, such a variety. I've had I've had anywhere from pizza to Burger King to KFC to, of course, traditional Armenian food, hordovats, things like that. I've had a couple Georgian dishes as well, some borscht here. Yeah, so it's been a fun food adventure, that's for sure. Next up, we have some artwork. So I'm part of a global art exchange as well as Global Connections, writing pen pals, and right now I'm waiting back for our letters to give to our students as well as some artwork. And so, yeah, that about sums it up. Next, we have gender. My students have signed their names and pledged to speak out against gender-based violence. And so hopefully they take that seriously and remember that in the rest of, for a long time, that they made that pledge to be courteous and sweet to people of all genders, and not to ever act in violence, especially when it comes to gender. And then next we have a very special part of my service is this right here. And so this is whenever I went home, my church said, we're doing our annual donations. Is there anything that we can do to help you guys, in Armenia at your school? And I said, absolutely there is. We're lacking technology, and we would love to improve our student engagement. We would love to be able to have interactive lessons with our students. And so they said, well, we think we can help you with that. And guess what they have? They absolutely have. They've donated an incredible electronics board, and we've gotten chairs, and we've really, really, really improved this space downstairs in a very, very special room. And we can take our classes and we can walk them down to this room, and we can have these interactive lessons with them. And speaking of, I have our first lesson in this new room tomorrow. And so Ecclesia, my church, has donated a couple of other pieces of technology and signs and stuff for our school to really help improve. And so that's been just really incredible, and I feel just beyond thankful for their generosity, and my school is so excited and everything like that. But to say, I said, okay, I'm working with Ecclesia, I'm working with the school, and we've done a lot of great things, and my service is in name of my brother, and now I've added my stepfather as well, but I knew it was going to be in the name of my brother, in memory of my brother, my whole service, and everything good that I did here. And I'm very, 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 very excited to share that the room with the technology in Armenia, in Kapan, at school number 1, is dedicated to my brother, and his name is, with a plaque, is on the outside of it, along with Ecclesia Hattiesburg's name. It says technology donated by Ecclesia Hattiesburg, and then it says in loving memory of Matthew Atkinson. So I can say that my service absolutely has always been, donated to him and in memory of him, but now in 20 years, if I come back to the school, I can see his name there. It's a huge reminder of what I'm doing here and how important family and friends are. And if you're looking forward, or you're coming to visit Armenia, if you're watching this video as a Peace Corps volunteer, someone who's going to be a Peace Corps volunteer, then know you're going to learn a whole lot, and it's going to be really, really, really great. And then if you are an Armenian, know that you have a great country, and you should be prideful of the things that you have, and you're going to continue to improve, and we're here to help you and support you improve as well. And then if you're just an American watching this video just to watch, just know that Armenians are lovely, and Armenia is a great country, and hopefully you can visit. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And know that my favorite thing here is family, and the friends that I've gathered, the new family that I have here in Armenia too. This is such a special place in my heart, and not only is it that it's reminding me again what family I have, but it's also reminding me of what is amazing in the world, and it's people, and it's the people who support you and love you. And so I have that here in Armenia, and I have that in America, and actually I have that in heaven as well. And so I'm very, very, very thankful for every opportunity, interaction, and everything that I get to have. And hopefully I get to meet whoever's watching this video in person at some point. And I hope you were able to make it through this 25-minute video, and hopefully it wasn't so boring. But yeah, best of luck, and may peace be with you.